Right now. There we go. Fantastic, wasn't it?
Yes. Hello, Greg. Obviously, really depressing circumstances to be talking under. I mean, the simple question is, to you as a Republican, does America need much stricter gun laws?
Well, I think America needs sensible gun laws, and I would say stricter is probably a qualitative or a relative term, but there's no reason for people with mental challenges or mental health issues, as well as criminals. There's no reason for them to have access to weapons, and I think that's what we learn every time there's a tragedy like this. When so many of these, I'm not sure about this one because the facts are just coming through, but on the past ones, the well-known like Parkland, Florida, and in Connecticut 10 years ago in Sandy Hook, there was really obvious moments in the shooters where they should have been detained or hospitalized or imprisoned, and I think that's one of the tragedies here. So I think we have to just try to keep some perspective that yes, there should be strict. There's no doubt. I think we can all agree on that.
I see what you're saying, but I mean, in this case, we don't know the details about this particular individual who committed this horrible crime. We don't know what his mental health history is. I mean, for all we know at this point, everything is speculation, of course, but he could have never been known to authorities or anything like that. And yet he was still able to walk in and legally buy a gun and go commit what he did. So there will always be that chance for somebody to go and do this if there's not strict gun laws, surely.
No, Mercy, it's a good point. I mean, there's no, the laws are in place to try to avoid these situations by, for example, your earlier guest was saying that, convicted felons have challenges. There are some sensible laws in place now, perhaps not enough. And so there's always going to be exceptions. There's always going to be someone that showed no signs of problems. It happens all over the world, not just in the U.S. The U.S. is 4.6% of the world's population, only accounts for 1% of the world's shooters. It's just that these school shootings are absolutely painful. And so I just can't imagine a more tragic moment. But just again, I want to remind viewers that tragedy that those poor parents are suffering happens every weekend in Chicago. We had 800 homicides last year in Chicago. Every weekend is a shooting event, basically a mass shooting event. That seems to be overlooked completely by corporate media in the U.S., and it's really, really shameful. And by the way, the cities where this is happening, guns are illegal. There are not just strict gun control laws. Guns are illegal in Chicago and New York, and it's just an absolute tragedy.
Yes, all right.